YouTube? We're back with another episode of What the Hell Am I Doing? This week, well, it's finally time. We're going to call it the Homemade Hot Sauce Challenge. It's not really going to be like a real challenge, but the challenge was getting there. And this week is challenge number 1, I suppose, because this is the first sauce from the year that I made. And of course, the challenge included starting from nothing and, growing seedlings and into mature plants that obviously grew pods that are now hot sauce. So this is my first hot sauce of the year that I made. And it's going to be the first time I taste it before anybody gets their jars. So I'm going to get to taste it first, as I should. And then, I guess on Monday everybody gets their jars. I'm looking forward to trying this. These are the biggest hot sauces I've made yet. Last year I did some small batches that were personal. This year I obviously made larger batches and I canned them. And hopefully this will help them stay preserved for longer. I did everything properly, so they should be good for a while. Obviously I'll use them quickly, and if I unload some of them, then I'll have even less to use. But I would recommend obviously refrigerating them after you open them, and probably if you're going to even sit on them for a while, I would refrigerate them just to be safe. But yeah, I got them canned. The cans are sealed. It's beautiful looking sauce. It's got a good consistency, as you can see. It's got texture. It's got the seeds. But I have no idea how it's going to taste. So that's what this video is all about. I mentioned it last week, and it's finally time for that. So Champ's going to taste the first tasting ever of the new hot sauce that I made this year, which is called Scorpion Knuckles. And not sure how hot it's going to be. I suspect it's going to be pretty good because I used a bunch of yellow moruga scorpions. I used chocolate moruga scorpions. And I use chocolate bhutlah scorpion peppers. They all have a good amount of punch. So this hot sauce here is filled with a lot of goodness and a lot of punch. And the batch that I made, I think I used approximately 32 peppers, 31 peppers to make the batch that produced these jars. So that's a lot. Most of them were the yellows because I wanted that to be the star of the sauce with its fruitiness. But we're going to find out and see if I was right or wrong in my recipe, and we're going to find out and see how it all tastes in a moment here. One thing I have to say about this sauce, compared to last year's and the year before, the color. The color is really nice this year. It's a deeper color. It's a darker red, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of colorblind, but the first year looked like baby puke. It was kind of orange colored. It was kind of weird looking, but it was still hot and good. Last year's was a redder color. But this one's a little more red compared to that. So the color of this sauce, and even in the bottle, it looks good. I like the color a lot. And in the bottle, the consistency is the same way. You see that? You can see it's coating the sides. That's what you want. And if you look close, you can see chunks. You can see little bits. That's what the Champ likes in a hot sauce. Now the thing is, the Champ making good sauce this year. We're going to find out. I want to give a little shout out to my buddy Pierre. It's been fun chatting with him lately. He's busting my balls all the time, but he wants to send me something. What do you guys think he should send me? Should he send me Dustin Poirier's hot sauce, or should he send me something ridiculous? Let us know in the comments, and I guess we'll see what happens there. And I got another sauce, which I'll be tasting next week, I think. I guess we'll see how this goes, but the next sauce I've got is called Venom. And it's a sauce that I made last year, but I redid this year in a larger batch. I modified the recipe a little bit, but last year's was very good. And we're not going to talk about that one today, but that one will be ready next week. So I think we'll do a tasting on that one. And before we get to this, I think we should do a couple spicy sports bets. What do you guys think? I didn't want to do this, but I think I have to. Tonight, it's going to be an interesting night. First fight that I'm interested in is Anderson Silva versus Tito Ortiz, boxing. We saw how Anderson Silva did against Chavez a couple months ago. And I thought that was a magical performance, especially for a guy that was 46 against an experienced boxer. He moved well. He threw some awkward punches, but overall looked pretty good as a boxer. And his movement and timing and everything was bang on, enough to confuse an experienced boxer. Tito Ortiz is not an experienced boxer. Tito Ortiz has a giant head, and I think Anderson's going to handle Tito easily. So I'm going to bet a square of the Chili Cherry Nightmare, Anderson Silva beating Tito Ortiz tonight in the fight. And the other fight that's kind of interesting was supposed to be the Oscar De La Hoya versus Vitor Ortiz fight. Obviously, De La Hoya is out. Now Holyfield is in. Holyfield is 58. And I love Evander. And I think he still has punching power, and I think he can still be dangerous if he can land a punch. And I know he's been in great shape this entire time. But he's 58. And he's been away from the ring now for 10 plus years. Or around 10 years. Maybe it was November of 2011 he fought. I can't remember anymore. But it's been a long time. I love Evander. I respect the man greatly. I respect his career. I respect all of his achievements. But I think this is crazy to take a guy like Vitor Ortiz. Vitor can box. He can move. He's quick. He's lethal. Evander's 58. I don't think he can move. I don't think he's going to be quick. I don't even know if he's going to have reflexes anymore in a fight situation. He didn't look good in the workouts. And, the only thing I think he can really have left is power. But that being said, Vitor is going to move. And he's boxed before, so he's going to know how to get in on a box, Evander's not going to be able to just keep him off with a jab and confuse him. Vitor knows enough boxing that he'll be able to get in. And he'll be able to make contact if he wants to. So unless this fight has some kind of a gentleman's agreement where these guys aren't really going to go at it, I think Vitor is going to win that fight. And if he does, I'll bet a Viper X. Sorry, if he loses, if Evander somehow wins that fight, I'll eat a Viper Purple Boot Cross like I did last week. I'm not going to go crazy on this fight because I think it could be a fight that they have a gentleman's agreement. And if the rules are set up so that no one can really win or have a knockout or anything like that, if this is really just a sparring match, then the bet will be off. But if it ends up being a fight that's real, I'm picking Vitor to win. And if not, I'll eat a Viper X pepper next week. Okay, enough of the sports betting. Joshua, Pierre, Ernie, Greg at Fire in the Hole, Rachel, Douglas, everybody that watches and comments all the time. I appreciate you guys. This first tasting is dedicated to you. And stay tuned because I'm going to do a flashback video in the next couple days. I just want to figure out how to get it in the right format for YouTube. This video was filmed 20 years ago last night. It was the last night on Earth as it was. September 9th, 2001. So I'll show you guys the stupidity we were up to on that night. About 10 hours before the world changed. Anyways, here we go. This is Champ Sauce, Scorpion Knuckles. First tasting in the jar. It smells mostly like garlic, which it's supposed to. This is a garlic heavy sauce. I think the garlic makes it go with everything. I don't really smell the sweetness of the tomatoes or anything like that. So let's pour some out on the spoon. Let's see how this looks. I'll get the camera a good view. Here we go. It's nice and thick. Look at that. Whoop, you stupid mother effer. Let's try that again. Oh yeah. It's got some good consistency to it. As you can see, it's got a thick pour. On the spoon, it's got a, it's like the consistency of baby food kind of with some seeds and chunks. And on the spoon, it still smells heavily like garlic and not like peppers. All right. Well, this is dedicated to all you guys. And if anybody wants to get some of this, get in touch with me and we'll see if we can figure something out. I'm curious how this is. Let's go for it. Champ sauce, scorpion knuckles. Like, share, subscribe. Wow. I need to let that settle for a second. Right away, it's hot. It's hot. It's got a good sting to it. My initial impression is it's sweet from the tomatoes, but it's also got the fruity sweetness of that yellow moruga because there's so many in there. And then there's an intense burn on the back of my tongue and in my throat that's churning, not heavily, not like a fucking whoop, like a 4. But it's churning and it's making me sweat. This sauce is easily a 1.5 to start. It's hot. Let's try a little more. I'm impressed with the fruitiness. Fruitiness from peppers. Look at that. Terrific. Okay, some of the fruitiness definitely is from the tomato sauce. Or from the tomatoes, not tomato sauce. I didn't buy tomato sauce, I made it. Yeah, wow. It's sweet from the tomatoes. It's sweet from the yellow moruga. But it's got an intense sting of a scorpion pepper, which is all the moruga, you know, the chocolate, the yellow, and the bhutlah, which are all scorpion peppers. Wow. I mean, it's making me sweat. I mean, it's also a little warm in here, but the sweating intensified as soon as I put this in my mouth. To me, the flavor is fantastic. This will work on breakfast, lunch. It'll work on steak. Well, maybe not steak, but it could work on noodles-based meals. It could work on tacos. This could work on eggs. Definitely burgers, definitely pizza. Like, this could work on anything because of the garlic. And the heat level's there. It's a little pepper forward, but the garlic is really forward in this one. And that fruitiness is there with the sweetness. And it's really balanced. And as we go here, yeah, I mean, the heat's starting to fade a bit and it's starting to spread out. Now it's starting to die down. But it built up to a good 1.5, and it's churning back there. And yeah, that's a hot sauce. And that's champ sauce, and that's scorpion knuckles, and man, that's goddamn good. And the guys that bought this stuff, I think they're going to be blown away, whether they're afraid of heat or not. The good thing about hot sauce is you can control how bad it gets. You know, if you put a little bit, you're going to get a little flavor, a little heat. You put a lot, then you might pay the price. But this stuff is delicious. And it'll work on anything, and I am actually salivating now for more. Even though I'm sweating intensely. This is crazy how much I'm sweating. Yeah, look at that. Ugh. Definitely 1.5, maybe even a 2 at its peak. But a tasty sauce. I'm going to be making another sauce today, which will be a ghost pepper sauce, and that's probably going to be the most intense one other than a Reaper sauce, which I don't know if I'm going to do a straight Reaper or not this year. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how many peppers I get. But I am going to make a ghost pepper, and I'm going to probably anticipate that to be the most intense sauce. But this sauce here, scorpion knuckles, this really impresses me. I'm really proud of this, and it's up there with some of the better sauces I've ever tasted. And I hope I'm not tooting my own horn by saying that, but it is really good, and I think it'll work on anything. And yeah, it's in the back of my throat like crazy. All right, well, there you have it. I'm really impressed. I'm really happy with my sauce, version 1. Next week, we'll see how Viper Venom is. And we'll see how the ghost pepper sauce is in a couple weeks from now. But for now, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Check out last week's video where I ate a pepper and a punishment. Check out this video here. And tune in to see if we're going to do punishment for my bets tonight next week. And also tune in for the next tasting. Thanks for watching. See you next week.